Man, it's about that time. I don't know if y'all checked this press conference out today, but I enjoyed it. Waiting for tomorrow. And then Thursday night, baby, we got action. But we definitely got something to talk about today. Because something came to my attention, especially with Bob Arum and what he had to say, speaking on that Devin Haney, that supposed Devin Haney offer. And I believed it. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was official. And maybe they just didn't get past the initial reach out stage. Because I think a lot of people get things confused when you hear about a fighter turning down a fight or a fighter getting offered a fight, I should say. And it's nothing more than one team reaching out to the other. And by my standards, I believe, a fighter can turn down a fight, just off the simple fact, that one camp reached out. So if a camp reaches out, that lets you know, hey, I'm interested in the fight. And they throw some numbers out there. It doesn't necessarily have to go to negotiations or something written, an official offer being sent for that other fighter to turn it down. You know what I mean? I'm most definitely gonna open up the phone lines because I definitely want to hear what y'all think about that as well. Let me get this joint set up for y'all, man. Most definitely know I want to holler at you if you want to call in and voice your opinions, your thoughts. Always interesting to hear what you guys got to say for sure. You know what I mean? All right, now the phone lines is open. Salute in the chat, man. Salute Meaty Riley. Appreciate you, fam. So I'm gonna get to that soundbite. I got that soundbite from Bob Arum, straight debunking the whole official offer being sent from Devin Haney. And like I was just trying to explain, sometimes a camp can reach out to another camp just to check the temperature, say, hey, I want to fight you, you want to fight me, what's up? And then they can take it to the next level, right? Then they can, maybe send an offer, start negotiations or whatever the case may be. And I think for Devin Haney, maybe they check the temperature first, the water won't right, and they moved on. But according to Bob Arum, I guess we can lead off with that. According to Bob Arum, Shakur Stevenson never got an official offer. So I want you guys to listen to Bob Arum real quick. Shout out artist KO or KO Artist Boxing.
There was that offer from Devin Haney, I believe it was 25% to Shakur. He's been vocal about why he didn't take it. He kind of thought maybe going the WBC route, maybe being a mandatory through them, he couldn't force it.
Let me tell you something. That offer, that wasn't an offer. That was all bullshit. That was also, talking in the media. There was no proposal on Haney's part to fight Shakur. None at all. As a matter of fact...
Hold on, let me run that back for y'all real quick. Hold on real quick.
There was that offer from Devin Haney, I believe it was 25% to Shakur. He's been vocal about why he didn't take it. He kind of thought maybe going the WBC route, maybe being a mandatory through them, he couldn't force it.
Let me tell you something. That offer, that wasn't an offer. That was all bullshit. That was also, talking in the media. There was no proposal on Haney's part to fight Shakur. None at all. As a matter of fact, when we talked to Bill, he didn't seem anxious for Devin to fight Shakur. Pretty much because Devin was having trouble with the weight and is looking to establish a beachhead at 140 pounds.
So if it wasn't like an official offer or anything, why is that rumor even out there like that?
Because it's boxing. It's all, half of the stuff that's out there is baloney. Has no real credibility. But, you know, boxing is the kind of sport, like it's the Wild West, and fighters say things that are only half true, but there was no offer made for Shakur Stevenson to.
Hey, you got it. No official offer. Because I kept seeing this. You know what I mean? He sent them an offer. And I never really knew. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get a straight answer out of Bill Haney or Devin or even Shakur. Shakur acknowledged that, you know, he didn't say that he didn't receive an offer. But it wasn't an official offer. But again, for those of you who don't understand how this worked, they checked the temperature first. Shakur publicly, you know, turned down that fight, right? He told you straight up he wasn't fighting for no 25%. And you can't do nothing but take that as somebody turning down a fight. But for more clarity, that's Bob Arum telling you, hey, there wasn't anything official, meaning Bill and Devin Haney didn't put anything on paper, get the lawyers involved, sent something over to Bob Arum and Shakur Stevenson, an official offer. All right, and I'll play that a little bit later for anybody who still may have some confusion. Now, if you watched this press conference, it got a bit chippy for sure, like it normally does. But I was a little bit more interested in shout out your boy, man, who really rock with Devin. I can't even thank my guy Sean who sent me this clip. Not Sean, but P. Aki TV. Thank you, man. Now you know that's a Muslim channel, right? Shout out to the Muslims out there. Shout out Aki TV because I got the sound bite from them. So you know they rocking hard with Devin Haney. You know it's gonna be some bias there because they believe in the same God at the end of the day. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't mad at it. I think I'm new to watching him, and I think he does some decent work. But you can most definitely tell he rocks heavy with Shakur Stevenson. And I believe, you know, both of them, those guys being Muslim got a lot to do with it. I ain't mad at you. It is what it is. But he got a little bit frustrated with, it appears to be Aki TV's reporter. But what was interesting was he kind of avoided the toe-to-toe talk with Santos, right? Because that's a big question for a lot of people coming into this fight. Will Shakur Stevenson sit in that pocket? Right? Will he go toe-to-toe with Santos? And I believe he's going to be smart. You know what I mean? You can't, you know, I think it's the consensus that Santos got a lot of power. Can he hurt Shakur Stevenson? It appears that he could. He's 16-1 with 14 knockouts. And it appears that he's holding some dynamite. So I don't think it would be smart of Shakur Stevenson to sit right in front of him all night. But Shakur Stevenson is good enough to not necessarily be on the run and on the back foot, but, you know, using that lateral movement, coming side to side, using that head movement without really taking too many steps backwards. So, you know, you could say that he's in a pocket, but he's giving you different looks in the pocket and not necessarily running. Will he be on the back foot for majority of this fight? We have to find out. But if you watched him against Oscar Valdez and Nakatia, you could see in a lot of those spots, he was right in front of those guys, but he was giving you the subtle movement, the lateral movement, the footwork, and not necessarily on his bike, you know, skipping around the ring. But we're going to have to see. But he got a little bit frustrated to me. I want to go ahead and give the soundbite a listen. When asked the question about going toe-to-toe with Santos.
If from Dominican Republic. I respect it, but I'm hungry too. Like I want this bad. That's all I think about. I know when he get his free time, look like he get fat and get big. When I get my free time, I'm in the gym working.
You said yesterday that you believe Edwin's going to be moving around, but Edwin said the same about you. He said that you're going to be running. So, can we expect a toe-to-toe action if you're not willing to back down?
I can't give y'all shit. I don't know what y'all could expect. I mean, y'all is y'all. I don't got. My opinion is my opinion. I go in there, I fight for me. So when I come home, I want to be satisfied with my performance, and I don't give a fuck about what y'all should expect or want. It is what it is.
Are you hungrier now than you've ever been, and why?
I think I am. I think this is the hungriest I ever been.
Going to be moving around, but Edwin said the same about you. He said that you're going to be running. So, can we expect a toe-to-toe action if you're not willing?
My bad. I think I had my mic muted. I wanted to run that back for y'all because I feel like he's kind of avoiding this question a little bit. I think he got a little bit frustrated because, a lot of people want him to sit in that pocket, go toe-to-toe at some point with Santos. And, of course, we know Shakur Stevenson's smart. It's not like he's going to sit in the pocket on some rock'em sock'em robot shit. So he's not going to verbally admit that he's not going to do that. Of course, I'm expecting him, and I think a lot of us expected him to be smart in his fight. But he's not going to verbally admit that he's not going to sit in the pocket with Santos. And I think he got a little bit frustrated. I wanted to run that back for y'all.
But Edwin said the same about you. He said that you're going to be running. So, can we expect a toe-to-toe action if you're not willing to back down?
I can't give y'all shit. I don't know what y'all could expect. I mean, y'all is y'all. I don't got. My opinion is my opinion. I go in there, I fight for me. So when I come home, I want to be satisfied with my performance, and I don't give a fuck about what y'all shit.
And see, I think right there, that's the dead giveaway. I fight for me. When you the people's champ, man, you fight for the people. But he's not. I don't think he's willing to take on that kind of moniker or that kind of title as the people's champ. He blatantly just told us that he fights for himself. And again, I just think that's a way to kind of deflect from the question, are you going to be willing to stand toe to toe with Santos at some point in this fight? And again, Shakur having the ring IQ he has, I think once he fills them out, he'll know whether or not he can pick those spots to stand toe to toe. But just most definitely, I believe deflecting in his answer.
Me. So when I come home, I want to be satisfied with my performance, and I don't give a fuck about what y'all should expect or want. It is what it is.
Are you hungrier now than you've ever been, and why?
I think I am. I think this is the hungriest I ever been. I think the stakes kind of went up. The big fights is getting closer. This is a big fight for me right now, so I think now it's only boxing. That's it. That's all I can think about.
Word. I thought that was a clean answer, man. I think Shakur's a gym rat for sure. And if you look at his fights, of course, shout out Casino Life Prez in the chat, man. Salute to you too, man. I appreciate you stopping through, rocking with your boy. Shakur's a gym rat. Look at the stamina. Look how he finishes his fights. Most of these fights, he finishes up on his toes. So I think, and shout out my guy Al Montes that was in my last live. He pointed that out, and he feels, because he's a huge De Los Santos fan, and I'm sure a lot of you are. He feels where that could be a liability in the gas tank department for De Los Santos going into this fight. That's why he has the early knockout prediction of the 6th round. That's a bold prediction, but I'm not saying that it can't happen. But Shakur Stevenson most definitely will be coming into this fight in shape with a lot of stamina. But it doesn't take away from the fact that I felt like he deflected from that particular question, because he doesn't know right now whether or not he's going to be willing to stand toe to toe. But what was interesting is that he said he felt like Santos was going to be bigger, right? And I keep telling people, and shout out Reb Life, Shakur's big, man. He was big at 130. I think he's big at 35. I wasn't surprised when, you know, he missed weight versus Conceição, however you pronounce his name. I think it's taken a lot for him to make 35, to be honest. You know, and I also believe he's still growing into that power. I think that power could show up at 35. But I think you got to kind of take that into accountability, that he felt like De Los Santos was a little bigger than what he is. So I feel like maybe he's licking his chops a little bit there too. My guy Devarius Forrest back in the building. What up, boy? Shout out Kenneth Gainwell, you stopping through, rocking with your boy. Hit that, smash that like button too while y'all in here, man, rocking with your boy. Yeah, you know what I mean? Hit that like button for me. Got the phone lines open. Still taking predictions. If you guys have a prediction for this fight, the De Los Santos, the DR cats and the De Los Santos supporters, they showed up. You know what I'm saying? Definitely want to hear from some of the Shakur Stevenson fans and hearing y'all's prediction in this fight for sure. But I did feel like he got a little bit frustrated with that Aki TV reporter. Also, he said he understands how Tank, or why Tank handles the media the way that he does. I got another soundbite I want us to listen to from Shakur Stevenson. This one kind of threw me off. He really snapped at your boy a little bit. Let's give it a listen.
Evan said that you should have took the 25% fight to Haney because he would have accepted 10%. Cambosis, Frank, and now Edwin.
I ain't gonna lie, you love Devin, my guy.
Bro.
You been asking me about Devin.
No, but I'm also asking about.
Let's focus on
I'm also asking about.
I answer all the questions. I don't give a fuck.
Nah, what I was saying was Cambosis, Frank, and now Edwin all said that you should have took it for the opportunity. What's your response?
What the fuck do I care what Edwin say? Edwin is Edwin. Who the fuck is Edwin? Edwin, this is first big fight. Edwin got to prove himself on Thursday. So I hear you, but I know you love Devin so much. And just like a lot of these other media people, y'all got favorites. And honestly, like right now, I'm starting to understand why Tank treat y'all the way he treat y'all. He incognito to y'all, cause y'all trifling, like y'all.
So at this point, I think he's figured out, he's recognized that this is an Aki TV reporter, and he understands that they rock with Devin Haney, and that ain't no secret. Like I said, I just really got turned on to them, but I could tell that between him and Dante's boxing nature, they rock with Devin hard. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't mad at him because everybody entitled to have a favorite fighter, and I think it's a little bit deeper. I think all of those guys are Muslim, so they're going to rock with each other. So I think he's recognized that, and he's snapping on your boy. Let me run it back a little bit.
Because Edwin, this is first big fight. Edwin got to prove himself on Thursday, so I hear you, but I know you love Devin so much. And just like a lot of these other media people, y'all got favorites. And honestly, like right now, I'm starting to understand why Tank treat y'all the way he treat y'all. He incognito to y'all, cause y'all trifling. Like y'all come in this motherfucker and pick favorites and put y'all own narratives out there and spread lies, and I just think that shit wrong. So I hear you, but
I mean, respectfully, Tank give me good interviews. I interview all fighters.
I'm speaking on y'all in general as a
okay.
Boxing media. Boxing media is the fakest motherfuckers in the world. With all due respect.
Okay.
Boxing media. Boxing media is the fakest motherfuckers in the world. With all due respect to y'all, but y'all fake as shit.
Boy, hey. Let him know how he felt. Shout out my guy Kenneth. Oh, that Keeney. Dimetros in the chat. I ain't never seen you in here. Welcome, bro. My guy Sean, Big Sean in the chat, man. What up? You say even Devin said that it was a convo between Shakur's attorney and Bill Haney. The attorney called Bill, not the other way around, and not Kerr's promoter. Kerr got to cut this shit out someday. He's got Kerr TKO in the 6. Nah, man, I don't know if you seen. Let me run this Bob Arum shit back for you, Sean. Let me run it, Bob. This is what Bob had to say on the whole situation.
So there was that offer from Devin Haney, I believe it was 25% to Shakur. He's been vocal about why he didn't take it. He kind of thought maybe going the WBC route, maybe being a mandatory through them, he couldn't force it.
Let me tell you something. That offer, that wasn't an offer. That was all bullshit. That was also, talking in the media. There was no proposal on Haney's part to fight Shakur, none at all. As a matter of fact, when we talked to Bill, he didn't seem anxious for Devin to fight Shakur, pretty much because Devin was having trouble with the weight and is looking to establish a beachhead at 140 pounds.
So if it wasn't like an official offer or anything, why is that rumor even out there like that?
Because it's boxing. It's all, half of the stuff that's out there is baloney. has no real credibility. But, boxing is the kind of sport like it's.
And that's Bob just saying it wasn't no official offer. Now I see what you're talking about. You saying, hey, they just had a conversation. And that's the point that I was making. I feel like, one can't reaching out to another. Sometimes that can get misconstrued. Shakur Stevenson, in my opinion, did turn the fight down publicly where he said, listen, I wasn't going to take no 25%. To me, that's turning down the fight. But it was a lot of people who kept saying Devin Haney sent Shakur Stevenson an offer. And I didn't agree with that because nothing had manifested. Nothing came out publicly. And this is the proof, right? But I still believe they checked the temperature. At the end of the day, they put it out there. They reached out. They probably talked about it, him, or it could have been Bill and the attorney, and nothing came from it. But there was no official offer at the end of the day. And that's the only point I was making about that. Shout out Keena, like Tina. Okay, I done watch some of your videos. I rock with you, especially because you mess with Ryan. Yeah, I do. I like Ryan as a man for sure. Pause. That ain't come out right. The person. The young fella is he's admirable. Don't mind talking about his savior. He's a very, very credible person, and I like that. He's a good father as well. Sean say, I will post a link with Bill Haney talking about the convo for sure. 78 did an interview. I was on that call. All right, man. Make sure you do that, man. I want to see it. Plus, the phone line's open, man. Call up here. We'll talk about it. JoJo, I'm gonna have to hit you back, JoJo. I'm gonna have to hit you back, JoJo. Ryan, you know what? I haven't peeped Ryan's latest interview, man. I've been so busy, and today I got to sit down, relax, and peep this press conference. So I figured I'd talk about this press conference a little bit. And of course, this fight is in 2 days. Now, again, man, I think this is a big fight. I know a lot of people ain't checking for it. I think this is a fight for the hardcore fan base. Only the hardcore fan base probably going to be rocking with this fight. It's on a Thursday. I think a lot of people don't even know this fight's going to be going on Thursday night. I think it starts at 10:30, the main event, maybe. I feel like all eyeballs need to be on Shakur Stevenson. This kid is just that talented. And I wanted to talk about how he says he feels like Tank a little bit when dealing with the media. And I think a lot of people don't agree with the way Tank deals with the media. And after you heard the same thing so many times over and over and over again, for us as huge fans, we love them, speaking to the media, giving us those sound bites, helping sell fights, helping build rivalries. It's a part of the sport for us. But as for the fighters, what I like to do is try and put myself in their shoes, to continuously get asked the same questions over and over again, to have your words turned around, played with, narratives created. I'm pretty sure, dealing with the media, it can become a headache at some point. And I think that's what, happened with Shakur Stevenson today. He just got frustrated and snapped. I don't know if everybody heard this soundbite, but again, this is you can basically say a pro Devin Haney channel. Now, again, I'm not that familiar with Aki TV. I've been following Dante's Boxing Nation for a while. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Not too familiar with Aki TV. He says that this was one of his reporters, and he got frustrated. I want y'all to give it a listen one more time.
Evan said that you should have took the 25% fight to Haney because he would have accepted 10%. Cambosis, Frank, and that.
Shout out Kenny Lee in the chat. What up, bro? Appreciate you.
Now, Evan,
y'all smash that like button for me.
You love Devin, my guy.
Bro.
You been asking me about Devin.
but I'm also asking about.
Let's focus on
I'm also asking about.
Edwin question.
I answer all the questions. I don't give a fuck.
What I was saying was Cambosis, Frank, and now Edwin all said that you should have took it for the opportunity. What's your response?
What the fuck do I care what Edwin say? Edwin is Edwin. Who the fuck is Edwin? Edwin, this is first big fight. Edwin got to prove himself on Thursday, so I hear you, but I know you love Devin so much, and just like a lot of these other media people, y'all got favorites, and honestly, like right now, I'm starting to understand why Tank treat y'all the way he treat y'all. He incognito to y'all, cause y'all trifling. Like y'all come in this motherfucker and pick favorites and push y'all own narratives out there and spread lies, and I just think that shit wrong. So I hear you, but
I mean, respectfully, Tank give me good interviews. I interview all fighters.
I'm speaking on y'all in general as a whole.
Okay.
Boxing media is the fakest motherfuckers in the world. With all due respect to y'all, y'all fake as shit.
Boy, that's a heavy statement. That's a heavy statement, and that's how these fighters be feeling after a while. That's how these guys be feeling after a while. Got the phone lines open. Shout out Keena in the chat. She said, I got Santos with the stoppage, man. My bad. I might have called you a female, but you said like Tina, so I call up here. Let me know. Give me the details. Can't take Aki TV serious. They do a lot of biased media over there. Nobody keep it. And then my guy Sean said, nobody keep it realer than Aki. I'm going to keep it all the way a buck. Following Dante's Nation as long as I have, and that's been some years now. I rock with bro because when it comes, he's more of a, he's going to talk about the racial side of things. He's going to talk about the shortcomings and how people are biased when it comes to race in the sport of boxing, and I can appreciate that to an extent. I like to look at it in its wholeness for what it is, for sure. But sometimes, I don't want to hear that. For Aki TV, and I know niggas gonna feel a certain kind of way about that, about me saying that, but it is what it is. Sometimes, to be completely honest, I just don't see color. I see two fighters getting in the ring. At the end of the day, I'm pro-black. I'm gonna support my people and whatever they doing. You know what I'm saying? Just like anybody else, the Mexicans, the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans. I feel like those guys. They support their own. I support my own at the end of the day. But I'm going to always give niggas credit when credit is due. That's just how I'm rocking, bottom line. With Aki TV, you can see him holding Devin nuts. But he makes a lot of credible points, and I ain't mad at that. Of course, they Muslim too. I just realized that they all Muslim. So of course, he gonna rock out. I ain't mad at that. And I can't completely say that they biased, because from what I've seen, and again, it hasn't been a lot. It's been credible. It's been a lot of, it's been a lot of great points at the end of the day. I think he keeps it factual for the most part. So that's my 2 cents on that. My guy Sean in the chat, he said, I think 78 took it down, but I think he talked about it in 1 or 2, and I don't even know who 78 is, bro. Listen, man, I started this shit. I ain't got no ties with nobody. I'm not under nobody's umbrella. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know a lot of these niggas. And I appreciate anybody who rock with this channel know that I'm unaffiliated. I'm unaffiliated, bro. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But if you want to, I'm going to check that link out. I appreciate that. Kenny Lee say, Coach Malachi, I've heard that name a lot. Really don't know who the hell that is. He says, IQ Ring TV, Heavy Bag Boxing. My top pages for just pure boxing news, no bias, race in it for sure, man. And if I could be known for that guy, I'd be proud of that. You know what I'm saying? Then don't get it fucked up, tangled, and twisted. I'm pro-black at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I'm supporting my people just like anybody else is supporting theirs. And I'm going to let that always be known. But I'm giving credit due when it's due. Bottom line. Phone lines open. Definitely want to hear some predictions in this Santos fight before we get out of here. More than likely, I'll chop it up and I'll be able to play your interview as an individual video on the channel. So if you want to call in, let me know your prediction for this particular fight. Shakur, Stevenson, De Los Santos, and I just don't believe that this fight is getting the kind of coverage that I think it deserves. And shout out to the DR, man, for calling up here last live and representing so hard. Though and Tony, who called all the way from the DR, he hit it on the head, man. A lot of the DR doesn't, when it comes to the sport of boxing, they don't get a lot of shine. And just in case De Los Santos does come out here and perform and has an incredible night, I just will hope that it's getting the promotion and the eyes that it should be garnering for this fight. I really think this is going to be a really, really good fight for sure. Kenny Lee, call up here, man. Let me hear from you. Tell me who you got and why. Give me your prediction, bro. Don't be shy, man. Sean, the phone line open. That's my guy, man. Normally he'll co-host with me. He's probably busy right now. But you guys are more than welcome. Call up here. Holler at me. Let the people hear you. And shout out to DR, man. I believe that, yo. You don't hear much noise coming out of the DR, but they do have some good fighters. You think about Hector Luis Garcia getting his opportunity against a Chris Colbert, blowing up that spot the way he did. Now, he did dare to be great moving up and taking that opportunity against Tank Davis. I thought he was out of his element a little bit, and we saw what happened. But, you know, another DR fighter trying to push the envelope, and here we are again with De Los Santos trying to do the same thing. I can appreciate that. I just hope, again, that this fight is getting the promotion it deserves and the eyeballs it deserves, because Thursday night could be special. That's all I'm saying. I still like Shakur, though. Give me Shakur, and I'll tell y'all my prediction again. I'm going to say split decision. I think 16 and 1, 14 KOs. The power's there. I think it'll be apparent early on, and it could spell for some trouble early on in a fight. If the boxing ability is what I think it is, especially given looking at that Adorno fight and the Rayo fight with the counter punching abilities, especially that sneaky little inside right hook from De Los Santos, it could become a chess match mid-range early on, right? I'm not so sure. In my opinion, De Los Santos, if he really wants a chance of winning this fight, I think he has to start a little fast. I don't think you Paul and put out that rangefinder early on trying to download data like Shakur Stevenson might do. You need to come out, you know what I mean? You need to come in this fight in incredible shape. Let's put it that way, because you can't afford to run out of gas. That's something else I believe could be detrimental for De Los Santos. And from what I'm hearing, that was his issue and his only loss to William Foster, where everybody I've talked to that has actually seen that fight says he ran out of gas, and that had a lot to do with William Foster getting that split decision win. You definitely can't afford to do that against Shakur Stevenson for sure. But I do believe he's going to have to start fast, and he's going to have to get some of those early rounds in the bank. I think he potentially could do that. Now, everybody also who is big De Los Santos fans believes and understands that he can box. I think a lot of people are coming into this or looking at this fight under the impression that Shakur Stevenson just completely outboxes him. After further investigation, I do believe the guy can, he can box, especially given the counter punching abilities. So I have to implement that. I have to acknowledge that and say, hey, maybe he could give Shakur some different looks early on in the fight, and Shakur will understand, like, hey, this could be a real fight. I'm not just going, outbox this guy for the better part of 12 rounds on my way to a unanimous decision. But in comes the power, right? I feel like he's got to let Shakur feel him early on as well, because again, from what I can see, because he's only got 2 fights where it's went the distance. This is going to be championship fight, 12 rounds. I'm weary of that gas tank of De Los Santos. If he runs out of gas, but the footwork of Shakur Stevenson and the accuracy and the defense, to me, it becomes target practice after the 8th and 9th round. All right. And it could very well turn into something else. Me and Reb spoke about him potentially getting the stoppage versus a De Los Santos. I wouldn't put it past him, right? Depending on how De Los Santos looks in those championship rounds, to see a 10th or 11th round TKO from Shakur Stevenson because your boy then ran out of gas and Shakur just laying leather on him. And we also went over the fact that he's a little bigger than what you think he is. Shakur is bigger than what you think he is. And that 35 power could be turning up. So a lot to take in consideration with both fighters. And again, man, I just think this is going to be a really, really great fight. Shout out to Kenny in the chat. He said, I can respect that. I appreciate that, bro. Phone lines is open. Let me know if you agree with me, man. Let me know your prediction. I'm going to keep that phone line open. Thursday night and the press conference today, man, I thought, a little chippy. I hate the fact that De Los Santos doesn't speak fluent English, man. That always, for me, it doesn't, I guess that's why they push these guys to learn English for, of course, a U.S. base, because it really helps in selling the fight when we can understand what the hell you talking about. And the comebacks are snappy, you know what I mean? But Shakur Stevenson, again, man, I feel like a little bit irritated. I think the talks about how good people really think De Los Santos is, and the fact that a lot of people, which is, I'm not gonna say it's hard to believe, but a lot of people feel like De Los Santos has a real shot here. So that just makes the fight just that much more interesting. Smash that like button if y'all coming in here rocking with your boy, man. So we talked about Bob Arum debunking the fact that Devin Haney, Bill Haney, actually sent a real official offer. So Bob debunks that there was no real official offer, but like I said, it was just a temperature check. They reached out. Shakur publicly turned down the fight. I think we all seen that. We can agree to that, but nothing official for everybody who keeps saying he sent them something. No, he didn't send them anything, but they did talk. Shakur feeling a lot like Tank when it comes to the media. He feels like the boxing media is the worst media in the world. And I get it. After a while, you get frustrated, especially when you're approached by, in Shakur Stevenson's case, the reporter of basically a biased media member. And I hate to call anybody biased, but, when you listen to certain channels long enough, you can hear, who they favor. And the fact that, all of those cats are Muslim, of course, they're gonna rock out with each other. And listen, I ain't got nothing against that. I get it. That frustration boils over. But I think I want to go back and touch on this a little bit. The fact that Shakur Stevenson avoids the toe-to-toe question from the media. I think that's important. and I don't know if he kind of stuck his foot in his mouth, but I think all fighters, for the most part, come into the sport kind of wanting to be the people's champ, right? Not necessarily though, right? Of course, maybe he doesn't feel that way because again, he blatantly stated that I fight for me, and I get that. But when you the people's champ, you garner more attention. When people feel like you fighting for them, they tend to, rock out with you a little bit harder. And he made the statement that he fights for himself, but it was also in an attempt to deflect that question of going toe to toe with Santos, which I think was a really good question at the end of the day, because a lot of people want to know: are you going to get in there and are you going to run around? Right? Are we looking forward to Thursday night to see Shakur Stevenson fighting off the back foot on his bike the entire 12 rounds? Are we going to see that? A lot of people don't want to see that. This has been the knock on fighters like a Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney for sure, to an extent. Like I told you guys, I appreciate the sweet science. I appreciate the stick and move, to hit and not get hit. And it's funny because I don't know if y'all seen episode 1 of that Top Rank. I forget what the name of the show is. It's almost like a 24/7 or all access, but it's Top Rank's version, whatever that shit's called. Something The Real or whatever. Hold on, we got a call coming in. Let me hold that thought. See who we got coming in on the line. What up? Heavy Bad Boxing TV. State your name, gangster.
What's good, Heavy Bad? This Keena Demetros.
This Keena?
Yeah, this Keena.
Oh, okay. What up, Keena, man? Welcome to the show. I appreciate you calling up here, my brother.
Yeah, it's my first time calling
First
in.
time caller.
I see more of your videos, but this recently your live's been popping up, so I just jump in sometimes.
I appreciate that love, man. Listen, let me tell me who you got in this Shakur Stevenson Santos fight and why.
I said in the chat, but I got Santos.
Santos.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, the way Shakur fans, and I ain't even really gonna say fans. I think boxing fans in general, if you say Shakur gonna lose or you point out any deficiencies in his game, it's like, oh, you a hater. You just automatically hating. And I'm like, nah.
Right.
I just think that the way his career has been progressed, with Top Rank, I mean, you can't say if Shakur ain't been a man-made fight for him to win.
Right. To an extent, for sure.
I could be tripping.
And say that again, because I want everybody to hear that clearly. What you just say?
I said, for the most part, Shakur's career has been set up for every stage of his career has been set up for him to win. Top Rank usually got a sink or swim program, but Shakur's, his wasn't as bad because he came from 126 and 130. But Oscar Valdez, I think that's his best win. And that dude, he a featherweight.
Yeah, he was a natural 126 pounder for sure.
And we just seen what Navarrete did to him.
But you can't knock it, right? Because when you think about those weight classes, these were the best that they really had to offer, correct? When you think about Shakur at 26 and 30, Nakatia,
wasn't it
Oscar Valdez, Jamel Herring, all champions, true?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Wait, was Nakatia champion?
At 20s, yeah, Nakatia was a champion.
At 26?
Was it at 26? I don't know. Don't give me the line, man. Don't give me the line. I can't think. But
I be the same way. I ain't trying to put you on the spot, but I just know for real. But I was gonna say if he was, that's definitely extra on his resume. But we can get into why Edwin gonna win though. I mean, go ahead. I don't want to get to the resume talk because that don't even matter. It's fight night or it's fight week.
I was just making the point that we got to give him some credit.
Nah, you're right. And
you know what I'm saying?
This is what I've always said. Shakur is a great fighter at 126 and 130.
Right.
We don't know what he's gonna be at 135. But
True. I can definitely agree with you there for sure. But what we do know is we got to give him some credit. At the end of the day, he has beaten some world champions. He is a 2-division world champion. He has proven a little something versus a De Los Santos who hasn't proven anything yet, but is now getting the opportunity. Now, you say you got De Los Santos, and we're going to go into why.
Yep, and before we go into why, I'm going to say this. I think so highly of De Los Santos in terms of his skill set and the threat he posed to Shakur that if Shakur can beat him, I don't got any type of worries for him at 135.
Hey, I can appreciate that.
Threat.
You the second guy that said that. You the second guy that says if he can beat De Los Santos, they're going to give him all the credit in the world. Okay.
Right, because I don't even know if I don't even know if PBC would put Santos in there with Tank right now. I mean, I would favor Tank, but that would be a dangerous fight for Tank. You know. But with Santos,
absolutely.
He is an elite boxing puncher. Like, that's my favorite style of fighter. Like, if I see boxing punches, they're my favorite. Like,
so you definitely a big Tank fan.
Well, I had to look. See, this is the thing. I had to hate I had to hate on him, and I had to doubt him. But I ain't gonna lie. Even throughout the build-up, throughout the years, when I would see him get certain wins, I'm like, nah, he definitely getting better, and he getting more surgical with his stuff. But yeah, I'm a fan of Tank, even though he beat Ryan. But I like Tank, like Ryan, the Monster. I like Terrence Crawford. I like Boots. You know, all them type of dudes. So, but in terms of this fight, I just think Shakur, and this gonna be sounding disrespectful with some people, but I'm gonna say it. I don't think Shakur is too much better than Stephen Fulton.
Say that again.
I said I do not think Shakur is too much better than Stephen Fulton.
I can see the similarities.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think they have a similar skill set. Now, granted, Shakur is bigger, stronger, and I think Shakur got better reflexes and ring IQ. But in terms
I think he has more pop too. I think he got more pop too.
Shakur?
Yeah, I think Shakur got more pop, for his weight class than Fulton too.
Probably, but I will also say that Shakur is a naturally bigger guy than the weight class he been fighting in.
I agree. I don't know if you've been watching, but I just made that point, and I agree. I think people got to realize Shakur is bigger than what you think.
He's a big dude.
Yeah,
he's a big dude.
He is,
bro. I promise you, like me and Shakur, low key got like the same body type. Like no homo, nothing. But like I'm about 5'7", 5'8". And like I got more mass, and I'm about his same age. I'm 27, bro. I walk around 165 pounds, 170 pounds. But I ain't got no flab.
No body fat for real. Yeah.
I mean, I got some body fat. I ain't as cut as I used to be because I ain't been working out as much. But I'm talking about like just walking around, not really working out as hard. I walk around 155 pounds.
Yeah, easily. For those metrics, man, it's easy to walk around at 165, 170.
Exactly.
For sure.
Especially if you like an athlete, like and got muscle mass.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. So I feel like Shakur is being bigger than guys and then beating them up, and he can't barely hurt and stop them. Stephen Fulton, I think he's a solid 122. And Stephen Fulton, he ain't got the most punching power, but but back to the fight or whatever, I don't think Shakur can hurt him. And even in terms of the foundational parts of both their games, I don't think Shakur got as good as a jab as Edwin. Ooh. And I don't think he'll be able to utilize it the way he wants to in this fight because you got to understand, a lot of times Shakur, he goes up against orthodox fighters. So usually he's using his lead hand to control your lead hand, control space, and land a jab when he want to step into it. But since this a close stance fight, Edwin De Los Santos southpaw, how is he going to counteract Edwin De Los Santos' jab?
So let me say this. You feel like De Los Santos is going to be able to negate the lead hand of Shakur Stevenson in this fight?
I don't think he'll negate Shakur's lead hand, but I don't think Shakur can negate his. And I think Edwin De Los Santos is the type to I'll punch with you. But when my shot lands, it's going to land harder. And then I don't think people realize, I would say Edwin De Los Santos has the best defense that Shakur has ever went up against in the pros. Like Elwin moves his head. He's not a sitting target. He steps off the line. He changed levels up there. Like he's not just a sitting target. Like and coming straight forward.
When I think about his most recent fights, I can agree to that. Especially given the performance against Adorno as well. If he brings that kind of defense into this fight, I think you make a case for sure. You know what I'm saying? I think you make a case. What about the gas tank of De Los Santos? Now, let me ask you this too, because it sounds like you're a big De Los Santos fan. I've asked everybody who is a De Los Santos fan or is picking De Los Santos to win this fight. Did you see the William Foster fight?
I did not, and same as everybody else, I cannot find it either.
Okay. Now,
but I did read an article on that fight, and I kind of seen how they said it went to me. So, and another thing is we got to realize De Los Santos, he got cut in that fight, so that can kind of like shake your game up or whatever. And apparently he didn't have like a good weight cut, and that was like I think he went up to 135 and then went back down to 130 for that fight.
Now, what I've heard from everybody who's actually watched the fight is the fact that he gassed out. So I think that had a lot to do with maybe the weight cut in the training camps, as you know what they spoke about. Do you feel that could be a possibility in this fight? The stamina, because listen, Shakur's stamina is out of this world, right? Now you're talking about a 16-1 fighter with 14 KOs, not really used to going the distance. Those championship rounds could look different for him if the fight goes that far. And you got a Shakur Stevenson who's out on his toes like it's the third round. Does that present a problem for De Los Santos?
I think that definitely can present a problem for Santos, but I mean, I think he looked good in the Adorno fight for 10 rounds, and he kind of fought at a pretty good pace. Now, he didn't fight at the same pace he did Rayo, but he fought at a good pace, and he really was whooping his ass. And the thing about Shakur's gas tank that you made your comment on, I think Shakur has a great gas tank, but I think Shakur has that great gas tank at the pace that his opponents let him fight at.
Okay. So now if he controls the pace, but that and De Los Santos chooses the upbeat pace, that could pay dividends for Devin down the road, because he could wear himself out.
It can, but then that's where your strategy comes in. Maybe you crank the pace up for 2 rounds, and then the next 2 rounds you get back to boxing. Because didn't you say you feel like Santos can outbox Shakur in moments?
No, I was saying, given what I've seen from him, and especially his counterpunching abilities, that it could become a chess match in moments. And I think that's the point that I was trying to make. I don't think I was clear with it. I feel like De Los Santos will be able to, and I think that's what makes this fight more intriguing than what people probably think it is. Given that I feel like he has some boxing ability, and I think in some spots he'll be right there, IQ for IQ, with Shakur Stevenson. That's how I feel. I'm just keeping it a buck.
I think so. I think so too.
You know what I'm saying?
Even Richard Hitchison said he got a good IQ.
I'll
ask you this though. I'll ask you this.
Go ahead.
Not trying to make a direct comparison, but in the Inouye fight against Fulton, whenever Fulton started to feel Inouye's power, and it kind of made him put his hands in his pockets.
It did.
Do you think it's a possibility that Santos can get that same reaction out of Shakur?
Absolutely. I do. If he's able to touch Shakur like Inouye was able to touch Fulton early on, that make a man rethink a lot of things. You know, he got to go back to that corner, and bro got to come up with a game plan. You know what I'm saying?
And check this out. Like I said, not trying to make a direct comparison, but if you think about how to fight a boxer that wants to stand at range, usually they're going to maintain distance, but how they in a way start to line Fulton up and then start to land his jab. Now, like I said, personally, I think Santos has a faster jab. I think he has a stiffer jab, and I think he got a good time jab too, because he was hurting Valenzuela coming in just with the jab, but he was making him run into it. And so, in no way he was lining him up by going with the jab to the body. I think if
that too, but I also felt in that fight, and we got it. They got to establish this early as well, like Inoue did. He had better hand speed than Fulton,
right?
And that was the biggest issue for Fulton. For me, was he wasn't expecting Inoue to be that damn fast and that damn accurate.
Exactly, but isn't that like a big question for this fight? Who got the better hand speed? I think Santos got the better hand speed. I think he got the better combinations. I think Santos can throw combinations while coming at you, following you outside the pocket. If you lean back and you got a habit of pulling straight back out the pocket like Shakur does.
And now that's the only question for me though, and this is gonna be the biggest question. Can he crack the Shakur Stevenson defensive code? Shakur Stevenson is probably the most button-up defensive fighter active today, and I'm just keeping it a buck. If you look at the numbers,
him and Bivol.
Yeah, and Bivol. If you look at the numbers, this guy is almost impossible to really touch. Now that's going to be the question. Can he touch Shakur Stevenson without getting frustrated? And that's another thing I heard about the William Foster fight. Anthony out of the Dominican, he lives there. He's followed De Los Santos, and he said that's issue that he feels like could be a problem for De Los Santos in his fight too. If he is not able to touch him early on, does he abandon the game plan? Does he start reaching? Because if you go back and you look, this is what he likes to do, especially when Santos is on the front foot. I'm telling you, I've seen it with my own eyes because I looked at these last two fights vigorously. All of them goddamn big words. He reaches when he's on that front foot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to be extremely careful when somebody's defense that button up and is a really good counterpuncher. So that's something to really take into consideration as well with De Los Santos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I honestly think the question is though, like, because we know Santos is an explosive puncher, we know he take risks, but does Shakur got the punching power to in those moments, hit him with good enough? Because usually in those moments it take one shot, right?
Right.
So the question is, in those moments where you have that opportunity, are you going to be brave enough to take that chance to swing, knowing that you don't really got that much power to hit him in one shot? But are you going to punch with him when he lunges in? Because that's dangerous too. Because Tank do that sometimes, but Tank lands sometimes too.
Yeah. Tank will take some chances, and I think that's what it's going to come down to is how willing is Santos to come on that front foot and reach and take some of those chances. But Shakur, man, he make you miss, he make you pay. Right. I feel like he can make this a boring fight and outbox him on the outside, man. I hope that ain't the case. I hope he's gonna be willing to mix it up. But I think again, De Los Santos has a lot to prove. Of course, Stevenson said that today as well. De Los Santos has a lot to prove. A lot of people don't know a lot about De Los Santos. I'm one of those people. Like I said, I admit he didn't come on my radar until he fought Rayo, and then of course I was all eyeballs on the Adorno fight. And from what I've gathered, I do believe he's a boxer puncher. But I also don't believe he's seen a defensive-minded mastermind like Shakur. I believe Shakur Stevenson is, and that could be just problems in itself. Now, you got De Los Santos. You told me why you got De Los Santos. Now, give me your prediction.
My prediction? You mean just like the round or whatever? Or just like
yeah. Just tell me how this fight. Tell me how this fight ends.
How it ends? I think it'll be a TKO, probably round 8 to 10.
TKO, round 8 to 10. The ref steps in, he stops the fight. You got to give me the round. You can't say 8 through 10. You got to give me the prediction, baby. I need a whole prediction.
Well, I got round 9. Then I go in the middle.
Gonna go in the middle, round 9. All right. Keena Dimitros, am I saying that right?
Yeah, Dimitros.
All right, where you from, bro?
Yeah. I'm from North Carolina.
From North Carolina? Okay, I'm going to stay above you, man. VA in the building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
dad's from Africa though.
Okay, all right. Shout out my guy Keena, man, calling the show. I appreciate that support, man. Hopefully you'll be around and talk some more boxing with me in the future, man.
Yes, sir. I'll definitely be stopping by. I appreciate you letting me come on.
Hey, for sure, man. For sure. All right, man. That was my guy Keena, man. Says he's got De Los Santos TKO stoppage in the 9th. And I like some of the points that he brung up, speaking on De Los Santos as well. And again, listen, people been calling, representing for De Los Santos, man. It's a lot of people out there who truly believe De Los Santos is going to pull off this upset on Thursday night. And the more I hear, the more, I want to be engaged with this fight. Matter of fact, smash that like button too if you ain't here. I will be doing a watch party. So if you want to check out that fight while you're looking at it on ESPN and listen to my commentary as well, hopefully my guy Sean, if you'll join me, big dog, we'll do it together Thursday night. Sean said that's a bold prediction. Fact. He did say who would win. He said De Los Santos would win TKO ninth round. And Blaze in the chat. Blaze says, I think round 9 is where Shakur stops him. Wow. I'm going to be real. I would be surprised if either one of these guys get stopped in this fight. That's why I am taking Shakur Stevenson. All 12 rounds, split decision. I think De Los Santos has a good outing. Maybe looks better than what we've seen versus Shakur Stevenson here in his most recent fights, especially against a Yoshino and Conceição and Oscar Valdez. Valiant efforts, but to be honest, Shakur Stevenson has been making easy work out of these guys. So I think for the very first time, we'll maybe see some adversity for Shakur Stevenson. I do believe De Los Santos is just that, just that good. Shout out my guy Sean. Okay, you got me, my man. All right, I got that phone line open if anybody wants to call in. If not, man, my wife just got home. I'm about to go holler at my baby, man. Phone line's open if you want to call in real quick. I'll give it a minute. Let me go over what we talked about. Bob Arum clearing up the official offer from Devin Haney. That never happened. Shakur Stevenson a little bit frustrated with the media, especially dealing with Aki TV reporter who he says he feels is an extremely biased media member. And I feel him because they are. Especially if you've listened, but I ain't mad at them. To each his own. Also, going toe-to-toe with De Los Santos in this fight. Will he go toe-to-toe? Is he going to pick those spots and just sit in that pocket? And again, I just don't believe you're going to see Shakur Stevenson on his back for the entire fight. I think there's a difference between running and being on your bike, skipping around the ring, continuously circling the ring, versus sitting there using lateral movement and head movement and using good footwork without really moving anywhere, right? You can sit in front of your target and not really and just give a movement. Hold up, we got another call coming in. Let's see who we got here real quick. Heavy Bad Boxing TV. State your name, gangster. Blaze in the chat. What up, my guy Blaze? I appreciate you calling in here, man. First time caller. Blaze, where you from, Blaze? Can you hear me, Blaze? Blaze.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, make sure you ain't got no noise in your background. And tell me where you from, bro.
Oh, yeah, I'm up from the Seattle area.
Seattle, Washington? Okay, Seattle, Washington in the building, all the way from Seattle, man. All right, Blaze, tell me who you got and why.
I got Shakur, and like I said in the chat, I got Shakur at a stoppage in the 9th. And the reason why I say that is I really believe that, he can put his punches together in the later rounds.
Right.
And I really believe that, moving from 130 to 135, he has stoppage power. His last 4 fights.
Hold on real quick, Blaze. Blaze, keep that thought. Hold on real quick. State your name, gangster. Heavy Bad Boxing TV, state your name.
This L.
L, hold on, L. I got you next. I'm on the call, okay? Hold on for me. All right, Blaze.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, go ahead and finish that thought. Why you got De La Santo or Shakur? Excuse me.
Yeah, I said I got him stopped. I got a stoppage in his ninth. I think in his last 4 fights he got 2 stoppages.
Right.
35 and he got the stoppage. And I really believe, with his defensive prowess, even though De Santos is a boxer and a puncher, I really think he's still a step ahead of him. I believe he fights real cautiously in the early rounds. He fights real cautiously defensively in the early rounds, frustrates De La Santos.
Yeah.
Honestly, from when I looked at the tapes and looked at the fights with De La Santos, I think he did a great job against Adorno. I think Valenzuela, he showed that, he can open himself up when he gets reckless. But I believe, Shakur is not Adorno. I think how he overextends his jab when he puts it out there. I
Yes, he does.
Shakur even can counter that with an overhand left.
Right.
It's obvious. So, that's just my prediction. And I mean, Shakur's young, and I think we're witnessing a generational talent. And so while, he's been unproven because he hasn't fought anybody that's like technically a future Hall of Famer, I think we're witnessing that. So as a Shakur Stevenson fan, I'm witnessing him on the front end walking to his greatness. And I'm thinking his intentions where he comes into this fight, seeing some of the interviews he had after the press conference today, I think he's real focused on like locking in and being technically sound. Not necessarily trying to get anything, force anything, but take what's given to him in this fight and put on a masterful performance so he can up his profile so that he can be the leader, the pay-per-view leader. He'll be champion at 135. That'll increase his power. That'll increase, his exposure.
Absolutely.
His celebrity, and, he'll have more, more power than, hopefully with Top Rank, like he's explicitly telling Bob Arum to set up that fight with Lomachenko. He sets up the fight with Lomachenko, then that ups his profile, just like it ups Haney's profile.
It did. That's a hell of a scalp to have on the resume for sure. And Vasil Lomachenko. Let me ask you this: what'd you make of Shakur Stevenson saying he fights for himself, not claiming that he fights for the people, and he kind of avoids the toe-to-toe question? And do you think in this fight will he go toe-to-toe at all with De Los Santos?
I mean, I think when he says he fights for himself, I think he's as far as he's a young generational talent, right? And in this era of the social media, and just all this vitriol and all these trolls, there's like way more haters than more fans that people appreciate who they actually root for, right? I think he's pretty much kind of fed up with that, and I think he's locked in as far as fight for himself, where he's gonna fight his fight. Like he's looking for his legacy. He's chasing his greatness. And as he said, he wants to be undisputed at 135. Right. So if that's the case, then he's going to win the WBC belt. He's going to challenge Devin, and then Devin's going to either fight him or he's going to vacate those belts, and then Shakur is going to chase him down as well. Whoever else he got to fight to get him.
Dig it. I dig it. And real quick, while I got you, because you seem like you're a big Shakur Stevenson fan, and I like that. What'd you make about him turning down publicly the 25%, and do you think he should have said yes? I'll accept that.
But my opinion, I don't think he should. I think he knows his value. See, I think he, he's a young fighter, right? And so I think the Devin Haney and Shakur matchup, if they really want to do it, I think next year that fight will be significantly more bigger than if they did it this year. And so
don't take the fight just to save face and become undisputed. It's like, because even if the fight takes place next year, more than likely it's not for undisputed, and this was an opportunity for undisputed.
But I think he knows his value. I don't think, like, when it comes to Devin, I don't think he thinks Devin is better than him or bigger than him or deserves a 25-75 split. I'm because boxing is a business, it's a business as well, and so I respect the business side.
So being undisputed at 35 and having that opportunity, and if he beats Devin, he's undisputed. You don't think that translates to bigger fights and bigger paydays?
But I mean, here's the thing though: Floyd never had shot for undisputed to get paid. Tank never been undisputed to get paid.
And none of these guys are Floyd, and none of these guys are Tank.
But Tank is in the same division as Shakur, so hopefully next year we'll.
Hell nah. Hold on. Time
matchup.
out. What you mean Tank is the same position as Shakur?
No, same division.
Oh, same division. Okay, got you. I thought you said same position.
Let's be clear. It's total different. He's out the stratosphere as far as with his celebrity and power, as far as pay-per-view
for sure.
power. Like it's in a whole different stratosphere.
Okay. Man, I appreciate that, man. I just wanted to pick your brain on that because I know there's a lot of Shakur Stevenson supporters out there, and I'm most definitely one of them. And I honestly couldn't understand for the life of me why he would turn down 25% for Undisputed. Now, granted, I know it isn't the biggest payday in the world, but I do believe it makes more than probably his last 2 fights combined. Maybe not 3, but at least 2. And it's an opportunity for all the belts, and then you get to call all the shots. Right?
Yeah, I mean that's a valid point. But like I said, I believe in what he stands on. He don't agree with him getting 725 to 75 with Haney. That's his body, right? He's put his life on the line going into the ring. He understands his trajectory of what his legacy is going to be. And so I think he really stands on. He didn't have to take a 75-25 split to ultimately end his career as being one of the greatest fighters to ever lace up their gloves.
Right, got you. Hey, you gotta respect it. At the end of the day, maybe that's exactly how he feels. And I think it's always going to be some detractors on that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then you got to go the other way, right? He offered Frank Martin 75-25 split, right?
True. This is very true. Not nearly as much on the line, but I still feel like Frank should have took that as well.
Yeah, but I mean, once again, like I said, these guys are men, grown men, business, and they're getting in the ring in a pugilistic sport.
Yeah.
And so if they feel like they deserve more to take the risk of getting in the ring with someone of this caliber, because let's be clear, Shakur is my favorite fighter, but I love Devin, and I believe he beat Loma, and I love Tank.
Right.
Like these guys are great fighters, and so I look forward to when the business and everything lines up for them guys to ultimately fight. Because when they ultimately clash, whoever clashes ultimately going to go down as one of the greatest fighters to lace it up.
Right.
And so I don't take away from none of them. My thing is the style. I prefer Shakur's style, the sweet science. Hitting and not getting hit.
I like that. I appreciate that.
Superbly.
He touched that on that episode today as well too, or was it yesterday? He said that's what he's all about. He's all about the hit and not get hit game, man. And I can appreciate that about Shakur Stevenson for sure. And I love the fact that you appreciate the sweet signs, because a lot of people just don't get it. And that's why this fight is probably not going to garner the kind of attention that it deserves, because of that stigma about Shakur Stevenson, even though it's true. But he's a master of the sweet signs, and a lot of people just don't want to see it, unfortunately.
Yeah, and also from a long-term point, his mentor, Andre Ward.
Right.
He's one of those fighters who retired with all his faculties, retired on top.
Yeah.
And so, you can go and slug it out and get a fan exciting fights, but are you willing to do that at the expense of your health? It seems like Shakur is mastering the sweet science of boxing so that he can preserve his faculty and enjoy the fruits of his labor at the end of his career.
Hey, man, I'm not mad at it, man. I'm not mad. I think for me, because I appreciate that style, I be wanting those guys to excel as well. You know what I mean? But the harsh truth of the matter is it's a little harder for that style, right? It's not necessarily a fan favorite style. So it's probably not going to garner that type of attention that we want these guys to have. You know what I mean? I would love for Shakur Stevenson to catapult out of this world and be on that Tank level. But it's a reason why Tank's on that level. You know what I mean, it's because this is a bloodthirsty sport, and he's knocking cats the hell out.
Knocking cats out.
Yeah,
like it's undeniable, and that's what I love about Tank too. Because what's underrated about Tank is actually a boxer.
Yes, I say that all the time on this channel. Yeah, I give him all the credit in this world for his IQ.
We watch highlights though. That's the whole thing with the YouTube culture and all that. We see highlights. We don't watch full fights. When you watch Tank's full fights, he's a complete boxer.
He is. He's a complete fighter. He's a complete fighter for sure.
He sets up the knockout boxing. Just think about the time. Just think about when he puts away Ryan. Right? He tells him before the fight, "Hey, all you got is that weak ass left hook. And so in the second round, what does he do? He slides, he throws the level 3 times, he slides the hook and comes over the top and drops it.
Exactly. Facts. That's all facts.
And the body shot is a counter.
Yeah.
That puts him away. So
Yeah,
it's like,
facts.
hey, he's showing, like, even in his KOs at the highest level, he's showing you that he's a boxer, then a puncher. But that's what makes him fail, is that he has that power. So maybe Shakur, you know what I'm saying, can find some power. Like, I don't, like, Yoshino, he only had one fight at 135. Remember? Yoshino was hyped. 16-0, 12 knockouts. He only fought anybody in Japan, but they was hyped like he was going to be his stiffest competition. And because he made him look so ordinary, we don't even talk about this guy no more.
Who the hell was saying that about Yoshino? Not me.
Nah,
I was over here saying that he was going to hurt Yoshino. And I thought, and he did exactly what I thought he would do for sure. But yeah. Listen, me and Reb just talking about that, man. Again, and shout out my guy Keena who just called up here. Shakur Stevenson is bigger than what people think he is. And I still believe he's growing into that power, and I think that power just might surface at 35. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if the later rounds come, and De Los Santos ain't in the kind of condition that Shakur is. That's when that accuracy is going to show up, that accumulation going to show up, and he could very well stop De Los Santos. I'm keeping it a buck.
Exactly, and so I can't speak on, like I said, we don't have enough of Shakur at 135 to be confident that
to
he
gauge.
has power like he got with Yoshino. So I'm going to hold back on that. But I'm interested to see it because, like you said, he takes him into those later rounds. He doesn't even have to have all the power, but the way his speed and his IQ, and when he counters and he puts those punches together precisely, he'll put them away. That's why I got it going in the ninth. Right. I think it takes Shakur 2 to 3 rounds to figure him out, figure out his tendencies.
And just for those who didn't hear you that might be in here now, what's your prediction again for this fight? De Los Santos, Shakur Stevenson, Edwin De Los Santos.
I believe Shakur wins with a stoppage in the 9th round.
Shakur by TKO 9th round. And prior to him, Keena had De Los Santos same way, 9th round, same round. Wow, this is going to be interesting, man. This is why I like to do this, man. Just continue to put eyes on a fight like this. I do believe that this is a big fight. I think you think that this is a big fight for Shakur Stevenson as well, right? You're not taking De Los Santos lightly, right?
No, I'm not taking De Los Santos lightly. Like I said, I want to watch his tape. He's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, like I said, it's on a Thursday. It's unfortunate. I don't think they promoted right. You look at the workouts, there wasn't nobody there. You know, so I think like Top Rank is doing him a disservice. Hopefully, like I said, under that last fight they got under contract, they really put it all behind Shakur. I mean, he's champion now. There shouldn't be no reason why they should put it all behind him, get him a real opponent. You know, whether it's Lomachenko, whether it's, you know, I don't know if they can pull a Haney, if they can pull a Tank, or, you know, even even if they don't find none of them, I'll see Maritola.
Yeah.
If he fights Maritola.
I like that fight
him.
Too. Yeah, I like that too. I think, if I'm not mistaken, 24 could potentially be Shakur Stevenson's last run at Top Rank. And now I don't know if you heard about these rumblings about Mayweather particularly trying to sign him and a Boots Ennis. What do you think that fit would look like?
I think Florida Florida got him towards getting his exposure up.
Yeah,
I think he would, and I think from the interviews that I've seen from Shakur today, from on some other channels, is that he says, he got one more fight after Edwin, and he wants Loma.
Right.
And he told Bob he wants Loma.
Wants
Loma. And
Loma.
he tried to ask him, you know, if depending on if they can get you Loma or not, would that determine whether or not you'll stay at Top Rank? And you know, he did the business decision. He said, no, I can't speak on that. I don't know what that is. And then, anyways, I got to focus on Edwin. So, you know, I heard it from Shakur's mouth that he got one fight after this with Top Rank. And so, like I said, I think him going, because I think Top Rank restrains you. I think that's why Bud had to leave and ultimately get to the Spence fight, you know. So I think, you know, unless Top Rank understands what they got, I think Shakur's the biggest fighter that they got over at Top Rank.
Yeah.
Unless you can name a name other than Shakur.
Nah, man, and the only other one is probably what's the heavyweight name?
Jared Anderson.
Yeah, Big Baby. You know what I mean?
I don't think he's as big as Shakur.
No, I don't think so. Hold up, I think this is my boy. Hey, listen, I appreciate you calling, man. This is my what was your name again, bro? Blaze, calling from the chat, man. I appreciate you, man. Hopefully you be a long-term fan of the channel, and I hope to hear from you in the future, man. I'm gonna take this next call, okay?
Absolutely. I wish you much success, man. We're gonna get your subscriptions up. Make sure y'all hit that like button.
My God, appreciate you, man. Appreciate that love. All right, Heavy Bad Boxing TV. State your name, gangster. Say that again, big dog. L, what's happening, man? Where you from, L? Long Beach?
Yeah.
Boy, you said that shit smooth like Snoop too, nigga. Long Beach, nigga. L, who you got, man? Tell me who you got and why.
Man, I'm just sitting back listening to y'all, and I'm trying to figure out where the fuck Shakur became a fucking god at in y'all eyes. I need somebody to explain this for me real quick. I got Santos.
You got Santos. And you saying you trying to understand how did Shakur Stevenson become a god?
Yeah, when he became a god. That's what I'm trying to figure this shit out. I'm trying to figure out the whole situation, the Haney shit, which I already know the Haney situation. You know, Shakur was just hating on somebody that was supposed to be his homie, and then start disrespecting the nigga dad and all other types of shit when ain't none of that shit came his way, and thinking that he bigger than what he was. But I'm trying to figure out where everybody gets this motherfucking beating all these niggas that have where he has a major physical advantage over all these motherfuckers like Oscar Valdez. Everybody knew that he would beat the shit out of Oscar Valdez. The nigga's trash. He's small. He's short. Got little arms. Everybody knew that. I mean, of course you're gonna pitch a perfect defense on this motherfucker because the nigga can't. He's disadvantaged already. Or weak ass Jamel Herring. Everybody knew Shakur was gonna fuck that weak ass nigga up. He's trash. He's fucking horrible.
So hold on. Let me get this straight, L. Let me get this straight real quick. You're not giving Shakur Stevenson no credit for his resume.
I'm saying Shakur has skill. Yes,
okay.
He has skill. He has gift. He has ability. What I'm saying, his resume though, that shit is trash. That shit is trash. I mean, you've been bullying up on all these little niggas. To be honest, you've been fighting all these little motherfuckers. Like, I mean, you even lose your belts on the scale and blame Devin Haney. Talk about him moving up like he's ducking you, but you lose your belt on the scale. Had you would have been, you know, they talk about Shakur's always in perfect condition. Oh, he stays in the gym. He's a gym rat. He lives and he does all this. But then he loses his belt on the fucking scale? That don't sound like a nigga that's dedicated 24/7. And if he would have kept his belt and beat Conceição, then he would have been able to move up and force a mandatory with Devin Haney.
Right.
Because he would have had that leverage, but he fucked his own opportunity up. And then decided to start hating on his boy. When his boy tried to offer him some shit, all the belts, just 25% or whatever the fuck. But I don't even want to go down that
Hey, look, go down any road you want to. It ain't like I'm here to defend him. I want to hear the rant.
But the motherfucker sat back with Conceição. He hit the nigga. One thing, he came in hydrated and all of that shit already. Because, you know, he missed weight. And he said, oh, I'm missing weight and all that shit. He intended to do that. So you came in healthier than the next man already. Then you hit the nigga with a million low blows in the fight. You gave this nigga, you power bombed the nigga, then gave him a hip toss, shoulder roll hip toss in the motherfucking fight. Come on, bro. We all seen this shit. Like, but he still has skill, though. He does, though.
He does, though.
He still has skill.
Yeah. That's a fact.
But now you fighting a nigga that actually move around, that can actually fight, that can actually box, that has power. Santos is going I'm telling you right now.
So hold on, let me get this straight. You've been aware of De Los Santos?
Yes.
And how long you been aware of De Los Santos? Since what fight?
Shit.
You can name the guy he fought after William Foster?
Nah, the one before Foster.
Who did he fight after William Foster?
Even the fight, listen, even the Foster fight was a fucking robbery.
You saw the William Foster fight.
Santos didn't even look good in that fight. He wasn't even.
Oh shit! Hold up, L. straight out of Long Beach. You saw the William Foster fight?
I saw the William Foster fight, but they scrubbed it fucking internet.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Now that you're telling me that you saw the William Foster fight, please give us some insight. What happened in that fight?
That shit was a fucking robbery. And this nigga Foster headbutted the shit out this nigga.
Okay. So
it was a robbery, and they took a point from my man. I mean, he was doing some clinching, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't excessive to the point where they had to take a point from my nigga during the fight. It was just some bullshit, dog. Listen, that shit was a robbery. But at the same time,
all right, hold on, L. Let me get you to calm down just a little bit, and I need for you to.
I'm tired of hearing all this niggas be acting. Niggas start talking. Listen, anytime you mention something against this nigga or any of these motherfuckers,
what you got Shakur fans out here, bro. They gon' you know.
Start saying that you hate. They start turning it into some shit like.
That's with any fighter, baby. That's with any fighter.
Nobody ain't hating on Shakur when niggas mention something else or mention the other side or don't agree with the nigga. It's almost like the Spencer Crawford shit. Niggas start being on some shit where, oh, you just a Spence hater. No, nigga, I said Crawford was going to beat the shit out this nigga. Before the fight, way before the fight, the same night of the fight.
Word.
Oh, it's going to be a close fight. No, it's not going to be a close fight. He's going to kill this nigga Spence.
All right, hold on. Let me keep this train on the track, L, because I'm extremely interested about this William Foster fight. And if I could get you to calm down and articulate that fight. What happened in that fight?
I ain't gonna go back, man. I don't remember the whole fight breakdown from everything. All I know is Santos was on this nigga fucking him up. Foster wasn't even landing that many punches. Foster headbutted the shit out that nigga and had cut this nigga. The motherfucker Santos wasn't in solid and good condition like that. Didn't have his trainers or whatever, and he was doing some clinching. He was a little tired in that fight. His condition wasn't nothing like he was slacking. He was slacking.
Okay.
But still, he won the fight. The shit was a robbery.
Okay.
But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
That is what it is. But Shakur, this nigga. He pulled straight back on his punches. Shakur got no motherfucking angles. Yes, he can control distance against these short motherfuckers and niggas that are not, don't have the physical ability or the talent to move around or get to him or any of that type of shit. And lately, he been standing in the pocket with niggas like weak-ass Asian buddy. What's this?
Yoshino.
Yoshino. There in the pocket with this bullshit ass nigga, like, and then niggas accept this shit. Like, oh yeah, Shakur got knockout pop. Nigga, this dude's trash. What are we talking about, dude?
I think it's hard to call. I think it's hard for anybody to call him trash, bro.
Bro, what?
Yeah. I can't. I'm not going, nigga. I'm not going to agree with you there. I'm not. He can't.
So
Shakur is not. Oh no, Yoshino.
Oh, I didn't call Shakur trash.
Oh, I thought you just said he trash. Yoshino. Right. No. I said I didn't. I called it. I said he would wash Yoshino for sure. If you follow the channel, you heard me say he was gonna wash Yoshino. He wasn't proven. You know, all of his fights was over there in Japan, and this was the first time he was going against a real slick, real fighter, in Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean? So I agree with you there. I definitely agree with you there. But I think you gotta, and I understand your frustration. I don't think your frustration is with Shakur Stevenson. I think it's more with the fans of Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah,
I think you probably like Shakur, but you don't like the Shakur fans.
Nah, Shakur been on some hater shit lately, and I just can't, I can't let that shit slide.
All right, so hold up, real quick. Explain to me where Shakur been hating, because maybe I missed it.
I mean, when you call a nigga daddy a bitch and the nigga then actually fucks with you and y'all supposed to be homies and different shit like that, and you pop off and start talking crazy and reckless, nigga, that's some hater shit. I mean, is you hating because the man actually got a dad in his life?
I can see your point.
You know what I mean?
He did call him out his name. But in all fairness, Bill called him out of his name too.
Nah, he didn't call him out his name.
Yeah, he did. He called him a few things. Hold up. Damn.
Not out the gate.
No, neither one of them. Both of them, if you can remember, both of them was extremely respectful out the gate.
Listen, man. Listen, I got a timeline on this shit. Shakur popped off and called this nigga out his name first, in general. And the nigga still let the shit slide and still didn't say nothing till probably some weeks later.
and then just basically said fuck that nigga and all that other shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the nigga was still trying to keep the shit cool. But even at that, you try to petition the WBC just on some hater shit because you didn't want to take the deal with this nigga that he's trying to offer all the belts, all this other different shit, whatever, bro. But like I'm saying, listen, it's certain shit that if somebody was your homie and been in your house and all that type of shit, it's certain shit that niggas do and certain shit that niggas don't do. And the shit that this nigga Shakur been on lately, it's on all the shit. It's along the lines of shit that you don't do. It's been some hater shit, nigga.
All right. Let me wrap this one up, bro, because boy, your vocab is short. All right, you're taking De Los Santos. Tell me why you like De Los Santos and give me the prediction.
Man, he's gonna fuck this. He's gonna fuck this man Shakur up, bro. There's no way around that. I ain't listening. I'm gonna be back after this fight to sit back so y'all can weigh in, and I want to hear some people crying and shit. I'm gonna see them people in the comments, all that.
Well, you know they're gonna do that. You gonna give us your prediction, man? Give me your prediction.
He can do everything Shakur can do, but better. He can move a lot more. He got way more power. He's way faster. He's way lighter on his toes. He got way more angles. He got combinations. He has a chin. He has a tested chin. All this shit, bro. Like,
hold up. People saying that you guys hold up real quickly. They saying you got static in your mic, so maybe you might got the mic a little close to your mouth.
Oh, it's all good. I'm about to hop off here, man. I'm gonna let you do your thing. I'm gonna support your channel and shit like that, man.
I appreciate you now. I appreciate that. Now, real quick, you like De Los Santos and what round? What round does this end?
He's just gonna brutally fuck this nigga up through the whole fight. I don't know what round it's gonna end. I know it's gonna be a brutal beat down though.
Okay. All right, my man L out of Long Beach. I appreciate that love, man. He's taking De Los Santos. He ain't even got a round. He just gonna whoop his ass. That's what he say. Me? I got static in my mic. Let me see. What about now? How we sounding now? We good? Not sure. Brady said his collar is fire. Yeah, bro. Bro was on one with the crazy Shakur rant. I ain't mad at him though. And I know how, cause I've been there, man. Sometimes you get frustrated with the fans of a fighter. It don't necessarily be you got a problem with that fighter, but those fans kind of, irk your nerves about a certain fighter. But he also said that he feels like Shakur been on one recently about Devin Haney's dad, his pops. So I get that too, man. A lot of feelings get involved, man. Like me, to be honest, the personal stuff, I be ignoring that. Am I wrong for that? And then I like everything that hypes and builds a fight for sure. But at the end of the day, man, I really don't, I really don't care, man. That don't move me one way or another. What happens in the ring really moves me one way or the other. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I can't get emotionally involved in what the hell's going on outside of the ring between two fighters. Let me see the finished product. All right, man. Phone lines open. Shout out everybody who's called, man. Blaze, man. Keena, he came through, and L from Long Beach. I appreciate y'all, man, for sure, for rocking with your boy. And I'm gonna most definitely do some individual videos on those calls. So keep an eye out on the channel. I'll post those for sure. Shout out Brady in the chat, man. Some of y'all, Mario, Brady, Blaze, man. Some guys I've never seen on the channel before. I appreciate y'all wholeheartedly for rocking with your boy. And I'm gonna go ahead and end this, man. My wife just got home from work. I gotta get some of that family time, man, for sure. All right. Thanks for rocking out. De Los Santos, Shakur Stevenson, Edwin De Los Santos, Thursday night. I will be doing a watch party right here. So if you want to watch on ESPN, or if you ain't got ESPN, you can come rock with me, get some of that commentary, man. And I will be interacting. I'll probably be going live before the show, getting those last minute predictions for the fight on Thursday night. All right. That's all I got for y'all on this one, man. Your boy Big TL, Heavy Bad Boxing TV. And you know who I got with me, man. That boy Roger is in the building. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.